What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Welcome to the RNEWS morning show. And let's just jump into it. From r/politics, Bernie Sanders says US can cancel all student debt if it can give the top 1% $1 trillion in tax breaks. Free is the complete wrong word for socialized programs like healthcare and education. Call it subsidized, or taxpayer-funded. This crap isn't free, it's funded by the people. Sincerely, a tax-paying Canadian. We have two Republican parties in the US. The loud and quiet versions. It's getting old at this point. Here's my problem with canceling student debt. That's great for now and everyone in it, including me, but what about next time? Schools are justified in charging so much simply because the government will approve any loan amount for school. Let's limit borrowing and interest rates so schools charge way more reasonable tuitions. But doesn't he understand the gov needs that $1 trillion so the Pentagon can lose it somewhere? That's the point. Bernie is saying that if we have the ability to give them $1.5 trillion in tax breaks, then we also have the ability to forgive student loan debt. You're watching the RNews show. From r/World News. French police officers in custody after video emerges of brutal beating of black man. What's a good argument against it anyway? It benefits the cop when it's a criminal and it benefits the civilian if the cop abuses his power. Edit. Why the frick are bots adding me? The second part of what you said is the argument against it, lol. So they see him walking down the street without a mask and they break down his door and beat him. What kind of Orwell fricking society is this? Oh, that's why France is trying to decrease filming of police. We understand it's not all of them, but even just one injustice incident warrants the ability to record the police. Could you imagine if there were no videos being made publicly available? I can't. Sounds like a recipe for a criminal gang to me. The 20 police officers who just stood and watched should be held accountable too. Though I doubt even the three main ones are going to get the jail time they deserve. But Reddit led me to believe that this only happens in America, the worst country on earth. You're watching the RNews show. From r/World News. The European Union has fined two pharmaceutical companies for colluding to keep a cheap alternative to a sleep disorder medicine off the market for their profit and at the expense of patients. Water is still wet, last time I checked. Water seems pretty saturated with water to me. You two should get a room and splash each other with water. Fines aren't punishment. Fines are punishment for the middle class and lower. Fines literally allow people who are rich to do as they wish because they can throw money at their issue. Usually the fine is worth way less than the money to be made. It's disgusting, really. Fines have to be at least double the profit, or it's just a business risk. Plus 25%. If they made $1 million in profits, it's overkill. If they made $500 million in profit, it's a drop in the bucket. That's the problem with setting a number versus a percentage. You're watching the RNews show. From r/politics. Man sues for refund of $2.5 million he donated to Trump election challenge group. True the vote, did Melania name it? Which card game did you get hustled by? Opens a booster pack. Oh man. 7 more Sean Spicer cards. Oh well, at least I got the gold foil Easter Bunny Sean Spicer card too. Yo fam. I got a spring break Steve Bannon. Anyone wanna do a swapsies for a greatest team-ups? LGBTQ community and Tiffany Trump. I'm holding out for the Hope Hicks spring break card. I need a ghost type to round out my deck. You have an extra Stephen Miller? No, but I got some duplicate Herman Cain cards I could trade. I'd throw in a armament card, Herman Cain's Twitter, which has the cool effect of remaining active, even if the card it's attached to is removed from play. For a while a college roommate and I would sit around and pass time trying to come up with the $1 million idea, some product or service we could develop into a novel business. A few years later balance bands hit the market and those guys cashed in. I had an epiphany at the time that what held us back had nothing to do with not being smart enough. Turns out we could make money anytime. We just had to be willing to lie through our teeth to take a customer's money. Moral: wealthy and smart are mostly independent from each other in my experience. Good luck getting anything out of a Trump group. You're watching the RNews show. From r/politics, Biden netted 132 extra votes after Milwaukee County recount. Works out to about $22,000 for each vote Biden gained. I got a vote for Biden Trump can buy from me. So by Trump logic, this means Trump tried to steal the election, right? Because they found more than one vote for Biden that wasn't counted. Technically Trump paid for these votes if I'm understanding that correctly. Hope they got paid up front. You tend to find additional votes in a recount, not lose them. In Georgia Trump got like 800 from counties that went for him. Never made any sense why he would recount just the Biden counties. This was always the most likely outcome. They challenged some 10K plus votes that they can now file lawsuits over to have thrown out. That was the game plan here, not to gain enough votes from the recount to win. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Biden doesn't rule out his Justice Department investigating Trump. Caterpillar, they need to look into why a multi-billion-dollar criminal tax case against them disappeared there. Same week Barr became Attorney General. Was it because Barr was Caterpillar's company counsel up until he became AG, the world's biggest? Coincidence? www.reuters.com. Excellent. This is my #1 platform interest right now. I don't care if it is petty AF. I will spend the rest of my life wishing nothing but terrible things on Trump, his family, and supporters forever, and will go out of my way to inconvenience the ones I meet, within the confines of the law, where I can. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like, and if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show and I'll see you tomorrow.